What's up YouTube, it's Onion Bomb here, and welcome to my NFL Week number 7 game predictions. But before we move on to Week number 7, let's recap how I did for my predictions for Week number 6. And as you can see on screen, another 7-7 record. I also went 7-7 last week, and this week 7-7 again, which, like I said, isn't the best, but it's not that bad. It's way better than any negative record, but it's not as good as a positive record. It's just, neutral. And that brings the overall record to 41-35. The games I got correct still has a 6 lead over the games I got wrong. However, that could definitely change with a really bad week. So I really need something positive going for me now. So yeah, let's see. Let's look into the actual games of Week 6. Eagles beat the Panthers. I got that right. The Bears beat the Ravens. I got that wrong. I'm kind of happy about that. Actually, no, not kind of, but I am happy about that. The Vikings beat the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers is pretty much out for the season, so I got that wrong. Couldn't predict that. The Redskins beat the 49ers. I got that right. Not by much, only by 2 points, though. The Saints and Lions had a shootout, 52-38, but the Saints won. I got that wrong. The Dolphins, sorry about that. The Dolphins beat the Falcons. I got that wrong. The Texans beat the Browns. I got that right. The Patriots beat the Jets. I got that right, but I almost got that wrong. I don't know. The Patriots, actually almost lost to the Jets. The Cardinals beat the Buccaneers. I got that wrong. The Rams beat the Jaguars. I got that right. The Chargers beat the Ravens by a point, and I got that wrong. The Chiefs, actually, I'm sorry, the Steelers beat the Chiefs, and I got that right. I swear, nobody had the Steelers being the Chiefs but me, and I got that right. I was kind of proud of that one. That was the controversial pick since I am a Steelers fan last week, and I actually got that right, so I'm really happy about that. The Giants beat the Broncos. What? With 3 of their main receivers down, the Giants finally get a win over the Broncos. It's not like a bad team either. It's the Broncos. I don't know how that happened, but I got that wrong. And then the Titans beat the Colts with Mariota coming back, and I think Andrew Luck still out. I got that one correct, and that adds up to 7-7. So yeah, that was Week 6. Now let's get into Week 7. Alright, here are my predictions for Week number 7 games of the NFL. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, starting off right off the bat with a game, the Chiefs versus the Raiders. I got the Chiefs. The Chiefs coming off a loss, making them no longer the only undefeated team in the NFL, and now there is no undefeated team in the NFL. The Raiders bringing back Derek Carr after his injury. I think the Chiefs are winning this just because I think the Raiders are probably going to need a game to get back on track from the absence of Derek Carr. And, the Chiefs, they're probably looking to keep winning after their loss against the Steelers. And I don't know, this is going to be a good game. This could go either way, honestly. I just think the Chiefs are going to win this one the first time. However, I do think the Raiders are going to beat the Chiefs eventually in one of their divisional games. But not this one. I think the Chiefs will win it, but I'll probably pick the Raiders next time because this is a great matchup and could go either way. This is definitely a good one for Thursday Night Football. But yeah, I have the Chiefs, but that one could go either way. Now into the Sunday games. The Ravens going up against the Vikings. I have the Vikings for this one. I do kind of want to say the Ravens, but I feel like the Vikings are kind of gonna upset a little bit, and because they've been pretty good lately. They even with Case Keenum, I think they're a pretty alright team. So I think they're better than I think. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings. And yeah, honestly, just the Vikings look pretty good, and the Ravens are, they're kind of going on a little bit of a slope here. I hope they go on a slope. I really hope they do. But yeah, maybe that's just my wishful thinking, but I have the Vikings beating the Ravens. Next up, the Saints versus the Packers. I have the Saints. I would have the Packers if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt. I still think the Packers are going to be an alright team. However, the Saints, coming off that really amazing victory over the Lions, I think they're still going to be pretty hot from that. And I think they're going to use this against the Packers, and they're just going to do good and beat the Packers. And they're going to utilize the absence of Aaron Rodgers. So I think the Saints are going to win this. I think the Aaron Rodgers being hurt is going to damage the Packers' record, but I still think they're not gonna get a couple wins with their backup cornerback Brett Hundley or something. I don't know his last name, I don't think, but yeah, that's beside the point. I think the Saints have that one. Next up, the Jets and Dolphins. This game was already played, and I had the Dolphins, but the Jets won, surprisingly. But I have the Dolphins again. The Dolphins can't let the Jets beat them twice. They have to beat them at least once. I like I said, I underrated the Jets. The Jets look pretty elite against the Patriots of all teams. So they actually could beat this, but I just think the Dolphins will beat the Jets at least once. I think it's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think the Dolphins can let the Jets beat them twice. Wow, that's going to be surprising and pretty hard for Dolphins fans, but I don't know. Hey, I hope they win, but I don't know. I think they will. I got the Dolphins. Next up, the Panthers and the Bears. I have the Panthers. The Bears having some surprising victories this year. They just came off one against the Ravens. But the Panthers, however, they're looking pretty good. They did beat the Patriots. They come off a loss to the Eagles. So I think they're gonna get back on track, and they're gonna win this Bears game. Just, even though the Bears are looking all right, I think the Panthers are just a better team, so I think they're gonna win. So I have the Panthers. Next up, the Cardinals and the Rams. I have the Cardinals. I kind of want to say the Rams because I think the Rams are a bit better than the Cardinals, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals are going to kind of upset the Rams, and I'm going to predict that. Just because, I don't know, it's a divisional game, and, sometimes divisional games, like the Bear team doesn't always necessarily win. Hey, sometimes that's the case for normal games, too, but it just seems like it's the case a little bit more often in divisional games. Plus, the Cardinals aren't a bad team. They just beat the Buccaneers pretty heavily. Well, not heavily, but it was like 38-33, but that's kind of a high score. And the Rams also coming off a victory against the Jaguars, but I think they're just gonna lose this one to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are gonna have this one. But that's a toss-up, so I could be wrong. Next up, the Buccaneers and the Bills. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I've been picking the Buccaneers a lot this season. And the Bills are coming off a bye week. They're going to be rested up, and they're going to continue to be a little bit surprising. They lost to the Bengals, but before that they beat the Broncos, and they beat the Falcons. And I think they're going to beat the Buccaneers. I could be wrong here. I know I say that a lot, but hey, it's true. I could be wrong on all these. But I think the Bills are going to upset the Buccaneers. And also, I think I saw something about Jameis Winston being injured or out for. He was out for the rest of the game against the Cardinals. I think I saw that. I'm not sure. So I think maybe that's going to be a factor in this game and the Bills are going to win it. But hey, I don't know for a fact, but I'm still going to go with the Bills. Next up, Jaguars and Colts. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. I still think Jacoby Brissett is going to be in for the Colts, and Andrew Luck will not be back yet. So I still think he's going to struggle to play with the Colts team, and the Jaguars are going to beat the Colts. The Jaguars, they have their moments. They have their low moments, but I think this is going to be one of their moments where they take a victory. And I have the Jaguars. Next up, Titans and Browns. I have the Titans. I have full faith in the Titans to win this one. The Browns are looking like the best team, like they always do. If Mariota didn't come back, this could have been a game like that was debatable, but because Mariota's back, I have the Titans, and I have faith, and I just don't see an upset here at all. I just see the Titans winning this one. Maybe not easily, but winning it. Alright, next up, Cowboys and 49ers. I have the Cowboys. This is kind of like the game, the last game I just said. Like, the 49ers just aren't a good team right now, as of least. And then, the Cowboys, even with Ezekiel Elliott on suspension, I just think they can, that can get done with everyone else on the team. So, yeah, I just have the Cowboys. Next up, my game, the Bengals and the Steelers. Of course, I got my team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do not think the Bengals are a good team. I don't think that's my bias either. I think the Steelers definitely can do this one. They have choked a bunch of games this year. The only two games they lost, the Bears and the Jaguars. They beat the undefeated Chiefs, but they can't beat the Bears and Jaguars. That's crazy to me. But I don't see them choking this one. I think they're actually going to do the Bengals. So, yeah, I don't see any debate there either. Alright, next up, Seahawks and Giants. I have the Seahawks. Giants heavily surprised me against the Broncos, and they heavily surprised me. Are they going to surprise me again? No, I don't see it. I still see the Giants I think the Giants got lucky. I still don't think they're a good team. This year, at least, with injury, they're a bad team. But if at full force, they're all right. But I think the Seahawks will win this one. Because the Giants are still missing 3 of their core wide receivers. So I think the Seahawks are going to win this one with ease. Alright, and next up, the Broncos and the Chargers. I have the Broncos. Despite the choke up against the Giants, I think they will get it done against the Chargers. The Chargers, they won against the Raiders. However, Derek Carr wasn't there, and they only beat him by a point. I did think the Chargers were going to choke that one, but they didn't. But I just don't think they're going to beat this one. Maybe. There's a possibility I'm wrong here, but I don't have faith in the Chargers getting this done. So I'm going to play it safe and go with the Broncos, because the Broncos are definitely going to be looking to redeem themselves from last week's game after their loss against the Giants. Yeah. I'm not trying to neck the Giants here, but just really without Odell, Shepard, and Marshall, those are 3 pretty good of their receivers. So I don't think they're as good as a team, and I think that's actually a fact, not even just my opinion. Alright, next game. This is a game too. This is the Chiefs and Raiders game, and this game are probably the 2 biggest games this week, and this is going to be the Super Bowl 51 rematch, the Falcons and the Patriots. Guys, I have the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to get their revenge from the Super Bowl 51 comeback, and them choking, and them being 28-3, all the memes. I think they're gonna kind of half redeem themselves, because this isn't gonna be full redemption. They would have to like beat them in a Super Bowl to redeem, but this is just a regular season game, so I think they're gonna get back on track for redemption. And like I said, like I'm kind of like, maybe it's just because I'm a Steelers fan and the Patriots continue to beat out the Steelers in the playoffs, but I just think the Patriots are gonna have a decent bit of losses this year. I mean, of course, they're still going to be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to just go like 14-2 because they're like 4-2 right now. I think they're going to get more losses, and this game does make sense because the Falcons actually gave them a game in the Super Bowl. Even though the Falcons choked, you know, the final score does still look like a game no matter what. You don't see it. So I think the Falcons will redeem themselves on the Super Bowl, and they will get this win over the Patriots. Will it be close? Probably, but I think the Falcons can win against them a good 10 points without choking the lead. If they choke the lead again, then that's just going to be horrible. Like, just stay off Instagram, because that's all the memes you're going to see. And, alright, Monday Night Football. The last game here, we have the Redskins and the Eagles. And of course, I have the Eagles. The Eagles just look like they're like on fire this season. They look like a really good team. Some people are jacking them. I honestly, in my personal belief, I think the Eagles this year are going to be a playoff team. Whether they make it just to the wild card and get knocked out, or they win their division, I think they're going to make it to the playoffs. Super Bowl, no, but I do think they're going to make it to the playoffs. And, you know, the Redskins, they can be an alright team. They have some surprising victories, but, you know, I don't think they're going to get done this week against the Eagles, their divisional rival. I just see the Eagles winning this one. Alright, so let's recap the picks really quickly here. I have the Chiefs being the Raiders, the Vikings being the Ravens, the Saints being the Packers, the Dolphins being the Jets, the Panthers being the Bears, the Cardinals being the Rams, the Bills being the Buccaneers, the Jaguars being the Colts, the Titans being the Browns, the Cowboys being the 49ers, the Steelers being the Bengals, the Seahawks being the Giants, the Broncos being the Chargers, the Falcons being the Patriots, and the Eagles beating the Redskins. And guys, that is my week number 7 game predictions for the NFL. If you want to see how I did, make sure you check out week 8's predictions, because like I did with week 6 in this video, I recap the record I went and what that makes the overall record of, you know, correct versus incorrect answers. And yeah, we'll just see how I did. I'm hoping I'm doing better than 7-7, not worse. If I do 7-7 again, I'm not gonna be too mad, because like I said, it's better than, looking on the positive side, it's better than a negative record. So yeah, I guess that makes me a glass half full kind of guy. But I hope we do positive. As long as, even if it's like 8-6, I'll take it. But if it's 6-8, then I'm gonna, you know, not be too happy. So I'd rather have 7-7. But, you know, I would like positive. But if I must have 7-7, I'll have 7-7. I don't care. Anyway, guys, that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike. Subscribe or don't subscribe. You know, it's always up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you're watching from me. Goodbye.